change of today's businesses, skills are front and center because they are going to unlock organizational agility in the future. They're going to unlock human relevancy in the future. And they are the basis of how organizations should run.
I think skills become more and more important because we see more, first of all, our jobs are changing. So we see change in jobs, we see change in requirements, we see more and more digitalization coming, and we see that we need profoundly different profiles, that we need really to look at how we do our jobs, and something which was in the past done by specialists like IT, data analytics people, technology people, digital people, is now becoming like everyday job of everyone. So if you feel the certain skills, in particular digital, are becoming like really, really integrated in everyday jobs. So we need to find a way how to understand where we stand with the skills and how to develop them. What we also see is that we are a knowledge company. I mean, everything we do, everything we have is people and IT systems. We don't produce machines. We don't produce anything tangible. Insurance policy is not a tangible thing. So everything that matters is skills. Everything which matters is people. And as I said, becomes more and more important. Also what we see, and I think it's a third and last point, is that it's started getting more and more difficult to attract talented people with the right skills because they're simply in demand by everyone. So we need to not only think about kind of generating necessary skill levels by hiring people, but also upskilling our people, getting them to a certain level. So how can you do it without a proper skill management approach, a proper focus on skill? I don't think you have a choice. But in the last year or two, it's getting more tangible. So you actually start thinking when you're in business that you can do something out of it. It's not just a vision theory, but you can really generate value. So that's why it's getting more practical on our agenda, not in just theoretical vision, which has been there already for quite some time, but in practice. So you start really, really digging deeper in this topic.
Great question, and I think it's multifactorial. I think the answer that comes top to mind is really it's become so difficult to attract and retain talent. I think the expectations of what great talent is looking for in a good company has escalated exponentially. I think they're looking for growth opportunities. I think they're looking to grow their own skills like they've never done before. And I think it's an expectation they have of an employer is, I'm going to give you my all. And in return, I want to grow as a person. I want my skills to develop. And I think they want to know up front exactly what you're going to be able to do to help them grow those skills. I think the other part of that equation is we've never seen the pace of change move as quickly as it's moving right now. And with that pace of change, you have to be able to rapidly upskill. And I think that's a change that all of us have to get used to. I don't think we can rest on our laurels anymore. I think we all need to become relentlessly curious. And that comes with, the ability to upskill rapidly. And I think that's just what we owe our employees, and that's what we owe ourselves if we're going to be good stewards of our companies.
We're like on a cusp of a change. So, I've been talking about skills for a long time and used to get up on stage and say, there will come a day where you will know every skill of every person inside your organization, what skills you have, what skills you need. And it felt very foreign, and all of a sudden now it feels like very near and natural. Like, of course we're going to need to know what skills everyone has. Like, it's starting to become part of the zeitgeist. The shifts that are happening that are enabling this first is really AI. Knowing every skill that every person has, is really hard. And that's why it's never gotten solved before. And if you actually think about what credentials do, is they take a big years of our lives, lots of sort of noise, long process, many courses, many questions, many tests. We just can't grok all of that as humans. We just can't process at that level. And so, honestly, what we need is to take all of that information and we distill it down into these heuristics, which are credentials. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Economics. Sitting behind that is so much information, but we can't process it. We can't handle it. And so, what's different now is that, all of a sudden, you are a combination of so many things: moments, experiences, challenges, knowledge, learning, coaching, mentoring, all these things add up. And it's not just that you were doing those many modalities of things against one skill, you were doing those things and it's accumulating many skills. We just haven't been able to process it. And all of a sudden, with this democratization of AI, it can handle sifting through and finding signal in all that data and all that noise. AI can actually look at enormous bodies of the exhaust you leave in the world, the experiences you have, the data you leave behind, and start to add it up to, well, what does that all mean in terms of what skills you have? So we're getting to this world where we'll be able to understand simply what skills everyone has, even though sitting behind that is this complexity of the unique and organic ways in which we all move through the world and actually acquire our skills.
Skills are so important now because the world of work is changing at a rate that it has never changed before. There are a number of things that are happening all at once that we haven't seen before. We have demographic shifts, not only in terms of 5 generations being in the workplace, but also in terms of the global nature of our workforce. We also have unexpected economic shifts that our companies and organizations and employees have to respond to. Technological shifts that are happening at an extremely rapid rate. Concerns about health and safety coming out of the pandemic, and changes in work life, the changes in expectations of our employees, and a real concern about what that means in terms of careers. But from an organizational perspective, a real focus on labor shortage, because all of these changes that I just mentioned in some way or another affect the labor market and are creating a shortage of the skills that we need in order for us to be effective in the workplace. We're seeing a skill shortage unlike ever before, because if you think about the shortage of labor, it's really a shortage of skills at the end of the day. As I think about what will make organizations and employees sustainable in the future, it's really dependent on 2 things: their ability to learn new skills as quickly as possible, and their ability to effectively collaborate with technology. In order for you to get the work done of today, you have to have the skills that are needed today, and those skills are shifting. And in order for you to be prepared for the future, you have to continue to grow those skills for tomorrow.
I think more than ever, the market, companies, they're all under disruption. A lot of the change is happening at the speed that we probably haven't felt for many, many years. I think skills is what's going to prepare organizations to be able to compete, to drive growth, and ensure that their employees are motivated. And so, more important than ever, I think skills is at the center of all of this to ensure that companies stay relevant. You cannot drive business strategies without ensuring that we've got the right employee strategies at the center of all of that.
I think the reason skills are becoming such a hot topic in the industry at the moment is partly because we are more interested now than we ever have been in a whole human being and the opportunities that human beings have to grow and evolve. I think it's also driven by the desire for people to use their work as a place to fulfill their potential. Skills make up a human being at work, and their desire to move beyond each role that they're in by using skills to do so.